morning, Baltimore. No, I'm not Ray Lewis, but it is a beautiful day in Baltimore, and I want to welcome you to home. The words of the day to me are gratitude and relationships for family, investors, those who worked on this project, elected officials, and community members. 2008, remember September 2008? It was pretty dark. And it was a tough time for many, many people. 2009, in February, I lost my mother. 2009, in September, I lost my father. My business model was broken because you could not buy real estate. I was living off of savings, was building a house with a very, very expensive mortgage, and had two banks that I was dealing with workouts. Also, was about ready to become president of my synagogue. Thank the Lord. Faith, hope, and out of adversity comes strength. 2010, I met a former colleague at CBRE. He said, "We have a chair in our office that's called the mannequin chair because your nephew used to be in that chair and he's now at Corporate Office Properties Trust. How would you like to hang out in our office? Get rid of your workouts and do new deals." And that's how I got reconnected with Neil Tucker and Doug Schmidt at Workshop Development. And as they say, the rest is history. 2017, a good friend and neighbor, Larry Jennings, called me up and said, "I want you to meet a young man by the name of Christopher Mfumi. He's very talented, bright, a hard worker. He needs to be mentored a little bit." I said, "Well, we love to do that because while we teach our children teach us." And I met Chris, and it was love at first sight. I mean, this is a very talented, creative, capable individual whose career is just going straight up, and we're so proud of him and so proud to be part of this project. Then I got another phone call from Chris after we started working with him. He said, "There's a piece of property in Highlandtown that was brought to my attention, and I'd like you and Doug to take a look at it." Well, that's where we are right now. That was 2018. Real estate doesn't happen overnight. It's a long journey, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication and a lot of people to make it happen. 2012, getting back to relationships, a young man by the name of Jason Filippo called me up and he said, "Listen, Uncle Dick, I want you to meet a councilman by the name of Brandon Scott." I said, "That's easy." So I meet Councilman Scott. "How are you, Uncle Dick?" I said, "Councilman, I'm doing great." So everyone in my family knows that I'm Uncle Dick to Brandon Scott. So we were having a little trouble in the city, and the president of the city council became mayor. There was an opening for president of the city council. Now, since everyone in my family knows I'm Uncle Dick to Brandon Scott, I have a member of the family that used to work for the city council, and that woman is retired, and she gets a kick out of watching, why I don't know, city council meetings on Charm TV. So I get a text saying, "Your nephew was just elected president of the city council." So I'd like to introduce to everyone here my nephew, Mayor Brandon Scott.
Good morning, and thanks, UD is what we call him for short. UD is short for Uncle Dick, of course. Thank you so much. And I remember all of those stories. It is such a great day here in Baltimore, and a great day here in Highlandtown, and a great day in the 2nd District, Councilwoman, where we can come together and celebrate progress, celebrate the completion of another housing project that will benefit the lives of so many residents. And as someone, and UD mentioned Jason Filippo, Jason and I were just talking about the first time I ran for office, and we were campaigning on this street, and this was a big vacant blighted property. There was someone who ran out the house yelling at me and Jason about why this place was vacant. So I hope he's still across the street or watching today. But this is also a great place to be because of this community in Highlandtown. I want to take a moment to acknowledge individuals. I know Carrie from Southeast CDC is here, and so many of our individuals who have stayed committed to Highlandtown, a neighborhood that has been going through a great transformational change in the many years of my elected service, but has now seeing itself have its own renaissance. I also want to recognize, of course, my councilwoman, Councilwoman McRae. We now have a woman councilwoman. She looks a lot better than me, and she's a better council person than I ever was. And thank you all for your steadfast commitment and your commitment to this progress. I would be very remiss if I didn't give a big thank you and ask all of us to give a big round of applause to the folks who partnered together to bring home to life. Of course, workshop development, Doug and UD, Chris and Fume and the team at CLD Partners, Jared Spahn and the team of Old Town Construction, James and the team at WPM Real Estate Management, and anyone else who was involved in this partnership. Thank you for believing in Baltimore and believing in Highlandtown. The effects of inflation and the world that we now live in can be felt everywhere, in every aspect of life. Just try ordering something that you need for construction or a car part. And when coupled with the years and decades of inequity, it can create a dire situation for so many families in Baltimore. But today here at home, we are taking another step in the right direction of reversing those injustices and reality. This building was completed with a total of 149 brand new units. That presents 149 new opportunities for residents to experience high quality housing that will benefit their physical, environmental, social, and financial health. I say it all the time, and I will say it again. Housing is a human right, and our ability to provide affordable workforce housing is one of the most powerful ways in which we foster equitable neighborhood development throughout Baltimore. And for those who don't know, I'll tell you again, not just in Highlandtown, but all across Baltimore, the Renaissance is happening right now, beneath your feet and in front of your very eyes. And if those who still don't believe, you got about 2 days left to jump on the train. This is what progress looks like. This is what building a better Baltimore looks like. This is what equitable development looks like. And we will continue to work with partners like Workshop, everyone mentioned, to make those strides each and every day. Because when you've made tremendous strides, you only want the better. Once you have the best, better ain't as good. And this is the moment where I say, please put your cell phones on silent or vibrate. UD was supposed to do that, but I got you, UD. Because we have so much more work to do here in Baltimore. Today we celebrate, we are thankful that so many folks will be able to call home, but also recognizing that now we're on to the next one. Grateful for today. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being committed and dedicated to Baltimore. Thank you for believing in Highlandtown, because as the bumper stickers used to say in Highlandtown, we are not in Canton anymore, hon. Thank you. Sorry about that. So now I will reintroduce and introduce to some a young woman who I've known for quite a long time, who I've seen raising her level of service, who when I first asked her to come work at City Hall, she told me no, not once but twice, but the third time was the charm. But someone who I'm so proud of, who's always fair, who's always dedicated, who's always working. This is someone that I know that I can email at 2 o'clock in the morning, just like myself, because she'll be up working as well. My councilwoman, Councilwoman Danielle McRae.
Good morning, Highlandtown. Good morning. Okay, I don't have to say it a second time. The bad thing is that I have to follow these guys. The great thing is that I'm not going to take as long. So I just want to say it feels great to share space with all of you, with Mayor Scott, with our dedicated representatives from Workshop Development and CLD Partners today. And as Councilwoman representing this section of Highlandtown, I am immensely excited to see this new development and opportunity in this area. Right around the corner from Highlandtown Elementary Middle School, which has recently undergone a mass renovation and has transformed into one of our city's 21st century schools. We are right across the street from Barcoding, who have continued to invest in our community right here while simultaneously being a global leader in supply chain automation and innovation. I want you to know that Highlandtown showcases the best of Baltimore in that it has always been a neighborhood filled with diversity and ethnicity and identity and culture. Families from all backgrounds, professions, and socioeconomic statuses call this area home. And our neighbors deserve to reap the benefits of the dedicated revitalization efforts that continue to be on display. The grand opening of HOHM Highlandtown serves as another key part of these continued revitalization efforts. And I want to thank all of the stakeholders who have made this development and critical investment in Highlandtown possible. I also want to thank everyone who has taken the time today to celebrate this new building and all the continued investments that await. So I did tell you guys I wouldn't be long. And again, thank you for joining, and thank you guys again.
Thank you, Councilwoman, and thank you, Mayor Scott, for coming out today, and thank you, everyone else that was able to make it. So today is the culmination of many years of work, of setbacks, of triumphs, and most importantly, celebration of gratitude for me. First, I'd like to thank my family, Mom, Dad, Nana, my sister, cousin Dina, there's a lot of people here. My Aunt Diane, Oma, my brother Jordan, Mr. Jarrett, Crystal, and everyone else that comes out and shows up big for me consistently. They are at every event. They are packing this room right now. And I love you all to death. To Amanda, who's been my best friend and partner, thank you for your patience as I constantly stop and take photos of buildings everywhere we go. And your consistent support of me and my crazy ideas. Thank you to Michael Beatty, who gave me my first job and showed me what was possible with a small team of focused individuals. To Larry Jennings and Dave Bramble for being the first to invest in me years ago, even after telling me I had, quote, unquote, one foot on the ice skate and another on a banana peel. You guys are great friends and mentors, and your guidance and faith in me has made all the difference in my career. Thank you to our home team. PIKL, you are one of the most talented groups that I've had the pleasure of working with, and your passion shows in the quality of your work. To Ann Stahl for helping with the interiors. To our construction team, Jared, Jeff, Bob, Lloyd, Chris, Danny, and Alex. Thank you all for doing the hard work that we come over here and take credit for when everything's done. I really appreciate it, and you really delivered a quality product with this. To our on-site team, there's a lot of you guys as well, but all of WPM, especially Ronnie, Aaron, Becky, Derek, Melissa, Brent, Andre, and Jim. I'm excited that we're finally getting this going, and let's get this leased up. That's number one thing. And then to Grant Ringelman, who just started with us, it has been a pleasure working with you. You've done a lot of the hard work in getting this ready for today, and I really appreciate it. Lastly, to my partners, Doug Schmidt and Dick Manikin. It is still surreal for me, even 5 years later, and I do not take it for granted because I dreamed of working with guys like you. Thank you for your trust and your faith in the project, and thank you for helping me bring a dream of mine to life. At CLD, community is at the center of our work, and I'm so proud of this equitable development in Baltimore City. I say that for a couple reasons. One, this is a much-needed quality neighborhood development, which Councilwoman always talks about, so I'm glad we could deliver one. We got some more on the way. That provides essential housing to the people who make our city run: teachers, nurses, firefighters, and policemen. And I'm actually proud to say one of our first residents was actually a Baltimore City policeman. We worked hard at designing a building at a price point that we keep rents as low and attainable as 80% AMI. Second, we crowdfunded over $4 million through 200 individual investors, giving people the opportunity to participate in a project who are traditionally shut out of the notoriously exclusive commercial real estate industry. Lastly, we are proud to be in a diverse neighborhood like Highlandtown. And our beautiful mural outside, as well as the artwork lining our hallways, were designed by local Highlandtown artists. Thank you all for coming out today, and we hope you enjoy home as much as we have building it.
Hi, I'm Doug Schmidt with Workshop Development, and I'd like you to notice the generational difference between Dick and me and the rest of our speakers here. I think we need to get with the times. The good thing about going last is that so many great points have been made. I don't really have to say very much. So I would like to talk a little bit about neighborhood also, and for people that know me know that I'm a history buff. And so this site was the former Epstein's warehouse. Epstein's department store was one of the very first department stores founded in Baltimore in 1926. And that was only 40 years after Highlandtown really was founded at what had been Snake Hill, which I presume they were snakes around, that was the issue, and were prairies and pastures. But the neighborhood was created for the efforts of immigrants from abroad, but also some from Appalachia that came to Baltimore looking for opportunities. And they made this great neighborhood what it was. But neighborhoods also are about change, and we've talked about that today and heard about the change that's happening in this property, but it's a change that will continue as this neighborhood evolves and grows. I also want to thank a few other folks, our neighbors that were very patient through this process, barcoding as well as Top This and our neighbors across the street. And a quick story about neighbors. Early on, we were told that there was some concern about vandalism on the project, and we had just started. We put up a construction fence, and we had a nice banner on the front that had the name, and it kept construction dust down, and we came out, and there were all these giant holes in it. And so we were like, we got to fix this. So we came back the next day, there were more holes in it. Well, it turned out our neighbors wanted to watch the construction. So they made a window for themselves. So the partnership we've had with the neighborhood has been terrific. I have to thank Southeast CDC, Carrie and Amanda and the whole team for helping us with the liaison of the neighborhood. We're very appreciative that Ovenbird is providing some of our food today. As Chris mentioned, local artists that we have that are involved in the project, because we believe that every project is unique and every project is about building that neighborhood and making it better. And we hope this project, as it continues, will do that. So now we'd like to move to the ribbon cutting. So we're going to be outside. We've got the big scissors. Hopefully it works. And so I'd like to call Chris, Jared, Richard, and I will do the cutting with Danielle and with Richard's nephew. Oh, yeah.